What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench for a brand new episode here on our Re.2005 by Sword. Today we're going to be moving into the next phase of the build, and that is going to be primer, paint, pre-shade, all that good stuff. And then eventually a little bit of some sub-assemblies, and I think we'll be good to go. Last time I went ahead and attached the wings to the fuselage, got everything sanded down, filled up a couple of seams, rescribed a few lines here and there, so we are ready to go ahead and get this thing into primer. And we'll be using some Mr. Surfacer 1200 for that, and then mask off the canopy, get that all installed as well. There is one thing though I have noticed: we do not have a gun sight for this, at least not that I have found. So I'm going to go through the spares box, find a suitable gun sight, get that glued in there. So let's go ahead and jump into that first time lapse, get all this stuff nicely squared away, and see how we do. All right, let's get this party started. All right, everybody, we are back, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely love using Mr. Surfacer as primer. It just goes on so well. But now we're gonna jump into some pre-shade, and that's gonna be using with NATO Black. I think this is gonna be a really nice contrast for just the overall colors here of this awesome little airplane. We're also gonna go ahead and come in with some pre-shade for some contrast panels. We're gonna use yellow, green, and some light green. And then when we overcoat the olive green on top of that, it'll help to kind of give it a little bit of differentiation in the overall tone. Then of course we have to paint the undersurface surface as well, and I've got a couple of colors in mind for that. So that's going to be the plan. Let's go ahead and jump into the time lapse and start doing all that pre-shade. Apply the contrast panels and then overcoat the olive green. And then of course the underside color of that bluish gray as well. So let's go ahead and keep it rolling, guys. We're getting there. Let's do some painting. All right, everybody, we are back. And so far, I got to tell you, I am loving this model kit. The paint went on beautifully. Everything's kind of come together and I am having a lot of fun. It's a great color scheme, very simple to paint, but I did have to come in and do a little bit of pre-shade and some contrast panels to get it looking a little bit more varied. But let's go ahead and show you guys what we have. And as you can see here, we've got that nice olive green up on top. I tried to go ahead and vary the different panels. I applied several very light coats of the Gunsy color. On the undersurface, again, also tried to apply some very light coats of my Vallejo color, and that has allowed the pen lines to show through. A little troublesome on the corners there, trying to get that to mask in on the gray and the green, but so far so good. This is actually looking really, really nice. I'm loving how this has turned out. I also took this opportunity to come in and start painting on the propeller. We have the front hub there in that nice white and green split pattern, which is awesome. I also painted the tip of each propeller blade in that nice yellow color. I will have to eventually come back in and use some either NATO black or flat black to go ahead and get that color in there on the propeller blades, but so far so good. Should be easy enough to mask off and get that painted up next episode. For the under undersurface of the color, I will have to admit that I started out using some Tamiya Sky Gray, which looked very similar to what I have here on the color callout, but I ran out. So I had to switch over to Vallejo, and I ended up using this USAF Medium Gray, and it actually was fairly similar, and I don't really think there's going to be much difference there. It looks very much like the color callout here in the instruction manual, so I just used that, and I was able to get it looking decent. If we zoom in here for you a little bit, I'm hoping you can see the color shading that I've done here with the different panels. Again, on the undersurface as well. I went a little bit heavier on the upper surface because I figured that would be where you get most of the wear and tear and the sun bleaching and all that. So the undersurface is a little bit less, but you can hopefully see I've tried to go ahead and kind of break up that just solid green color with some yellows and some other lighter greens. And I think it actually came out to be a pretty decent looking paint job. Next time we're going to come back though, and we have to paint on a couple more markings like the white band for not only the fuselage, but also the tail cross. I want to go ahead and paint that on because it's going to look better than a decal for sure. The only other thing we could do is if we went ahead and painted the German version, we could paint yellow on the wingtips, but I'm building an Italian plane. I want the markings to be Italian. But that is it for us today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here on episode 6 for more Re.2005. And until then, you guys know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. We'll catch you back on the next episode. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.